Make sure your skirts are long enough to ride a bike in and give you enough space to ride a bike in, because sometimes girls will wear like pencil skirts. It doesn't work with riding a bike.
Yeah, so for sisters, starting with clothing, I would recommend getting skirts that you can bike in. We bike a lot there, so that's the first thing. You should take a binder clip and you kind of just clip the bottom of your skirt together as you bike, so that's safe and easy. But dress cute. It's fun to be out there now. It's fun to be a sister missionary right now.
Biking in a skirt can be really tricky. In fact, it can sometimes be really exciting. And I would recommend shorts or leggings. We would wear, I had one biking skirt, and it was my biking skirt because it never ever flew up. It was like the miracle skirt. But I had other skirts that I would need to tuck into the sides of my leggings to keep them from flying up. So, and I've heard of sisters who didn't wear shorts or leggings underneath, and it's just not a good idea.
I went through so many shoes on my mission because we walk everywhere. And so I went through one pair of the really nice expensive ones you buy here, and then I just bought cheap shoes the rest of my mission and just wore those out until they were gone. I went through about maybe 4 or 5 pairs on my mission, but they weren't the best quality either.
Just normal flats. I bought some shoes. I think they're like Danskos or something like that. They're big and bulky, and they're actually pretty ugly, but everyone said that you had to get them because you had to walk a lot. But in reality, we didn't walk very much. And so I just wore normal flats, and they were perfectly fine. I didn't have any problems with pain in my feet or anything like that.
There's some really good shoes, again, at the Sister Missionary Mall. Shoes that have really good support, because you will be doing some walking, but at the same time you'll be driving, so you just want shoes that are comfortable, that won't hurt your feet, won't give you blisters, won't give you any hangnails or anything like that.
This is what your missionary like pamphlet or whatever that you got in the mail says that you should buy. That is the biggest lie in the whole world. Do not buy that. My mission president's wife was like so mad that they would tell sisters to buy that stuff because you will literally die. I would say, wow, so many sisters got sent home for having problems with their knees and hips and backs because of the shoes that they had brought. So you need to get durable shoes with inserts. I used Good Feet inserts. They're really expensive, but they absolutely saved me. I would have never been able to finish. This is not like an ad for Good Feet, but they're great. You need not flat, you need something that's got an arch that can protect. I mean, it has to have a pretty good arch because that's what you need to keep your knees steady. It's a walking mission. There are no cars. There are very few biking sectors. You will walk sometimes 10 miles a day or more, you know, so you just need to be prepared for that. And I had some Danskos, those like big clunky shoes that they suggest for missionaries. I wouldn't buy those either because it was so clunky that I rolled my ankle a lot and almost broke it, and that's not worth it. So just something low, like try to avoid heel as much as you can, but with an arch. And since that doesn't really exist, you might need to buy arch supports.
Definitely get a good pair of boots, but not super clunky either, because you'll get really tired with really heavy shoes. So, because you'll walk a ton. So, and you walk pretty quickly because you have to book appointments. So you want to make sure that you're in clothes that you can walk comfortably in.
I think I went through 3 pairs of boots on my mission, which was really sad. Because my first one's broke, and then I decided I didn't want to spend that much money on a pair of boots because I was going home like that next spring. And so I bought some cheap pair of boots, and that was a bad mistake. I had to walk across the city with broken shoes. My feet were freezing. Not fun. So yeah, I definitely suggest some good shoes.
I never had this problem because I wear size 8 in shoes, but I know other sisters had bigger feet, and they only make up to size 8. So if you have a bigger size shoe than size 8, you probably should make sure you get your shoes in America.
So probably the best preparation, long underwear, lots of wool socks, and good boots. I remember I was like worried about looking cute on my mission. All that went out the window like 5 minutes into Montana, and I'm like, it's March and it's freezing. So yep. I remember we would go tracking in the dead of winter in Kalispell, and I think one time I was wearing sweatpants under my skirt with 2 pairs of long underwear, 2 pairs of socks. We put the little hand warmers, like the things that you hold. I don't know what they're called. We stuck them in our boots. We stuck them in our gloves. I had like 3 shirts on. It took like 20 minutes to undress when we got to a member's house for dinner, just taking all of our coats off. I wore 2 coats. I had like a pea coat and then a winter coat. It was so cold. I can't even, maybe I'm just a baby. Maybe that's like not normal, but it was so cold. Oh, but it was wonderful. I feel like I'm a warrior for surviving a Montana winter.
I would suggest getting black long johns, because I had white ones and you could see them under all of my skirts, and so it was really annoying because then I had to put long johns and then a pair of leggings over them, which it was nice, the warmth helped, but that would have been nice. I wish somebody would have told me.
Tips for sister serving in Finland: bring a winter coat, bring boots, bring most of your clothes with you. That was what I did, and it helped me so much. You can definitely wait till you get to the country and buy your coat and buy your boots there, but as a missionary you don't have a lot of time to do anything other than preach the gospel. You do have your P-Day, but that time is so sacred, and that time goes by so fast. Sometimes it was our most stressful day because we try to do so many things in our P-Day. And so trying to take the time out to go shopping for a coat and boots, it takes time. And so if you can get those things before you head out to Finland, you'll be so much more prepared. And the quality of climate, of cold climate gear in the States keeps you warm in Finland. It's relatively the same. And you can get really nice things in Finland too, but they tend to be a lot more expensive.
And a variety of clothes, because the summer is really humid and hot too. It can get really sweaty really fast. It can get really hot. And the other hard thing is I don't think any of the apartments have a dryer. I never saw it, at least. And so we all just have a washing machine, a little tiny thing. And so you hang up your clothes to dry. And so in the summer, most of the time, they don't really dry very much because it's so humid. And so it's good to have clothes that don't take a lot of effort, not a lot of ironing. You don't really have a lot of time for stuff like that.
You definitely want things that are versatile and that you can layer. So shirts that you could wear maybe without an undershirt, because most of you will just be getting your endowments out, and so you're not used to so many layers of clothing. So definitely get shirts that you don't have to wear an undershirt under for the summer, but then shirts that you could definitely layer a shirt underneath for the winter.
In the summer, I wish I had more like shirts and blouses that didn't need undershirts, because it's very hot there and I wanted to wear like as little amount of clothing as I possibly could.
I preferred skirts that were, obviously you have to have a requirement where they go below your knee, but I love the skirts that were more, they were more like flowy and they were at the knee. And I had one skirt that was kind of like a pencil skirt. It wasn't super tight, but I did not like that skirt at all. I would not suggest that skirt for anyone going to a hot mission, because it's just uncomfortable.
Sister missionary clothing, I would recommend wearing shirts that don't need to be layered because it gets really hot, and to bring skirts that are long enough but not to the ground, so they definitely cover the knee when you're sitting down, or else you're going to feel uncomfortable. And I would suggest not bringing skirts that are like super light and fluffy, because a lot of times the wind will blow really hard and then it's like hard to like hold down your skirt as you're walking. So just bring skirts that are very comfortable and convenient for different types of weather.
For sisters, what I would recommend is to wear skirts and a light shirt. If you have a shirt where you need a layer up, don't wear a full cami. At the Sister Missionary Mall, there's what they call half tees, and it's half of a cami. And that makes it so you're not wearing as many layers because it gets really hot. And so the least layers you can wear, the better. If you can wear cotton, that is wonderful because that won't keep the heat trapped in. Skirts about knee to calf length. Anything longer than that and you'll be really hot. And so knee to calf length is the best length for you.
And a lot of their clothes are also free sizes, and they're made for smaller, petite Asian women. And so if you have broader shoulders or you don't fit like a smaller size, like the shirt I'm wearing right now is Korean and it fits fairly well, but they're all generally just one size fits all. And so you go and it's like, oh, do you have this in a large? It's like, oh, just one size. That's all you get.
Want to get some longer skirts, not like maxi skirt length because you don't want to be holding up your skirts the whole time. You're going to want something a little lower than your knee just because of how windy it is. It's crazy windy. So we'd have days where we'd, have on a skirt and we'd walk out the door and the skirt would fly up over our heads and we're like, okay, we're changing. We're not wearing that skirt today. Or I've had times where you catch yourself in the middle of the day, the wind picks up and you're holding your skirt the whole time and you're trying to get out past long cards, you're trying to get out your agenda and, so definitely make sure that you're thinking about that. You don't want too crazy poofy skirts because the wind picks them up and it's windy almost every day. And definitely with your hair, make sure you have headbands if you have bangs because that gets annoying every time you're talking and your bangs flip in front of your face and you flick them back and then they do it again.